Why did Jesus do so many miracles? Was it to show his compassion or to show his power, or is there something else? Let's talk about that for a minute. In Luke chapter 8, we read about Jesus calming the storm. The disciples are in the middle of the Sea of Galilee. They're in a boat, and a storm comes up. The winds are high, the waves are crashing against the boat and into the boat, and the disciples are afraid that they're going to sink and drown. And in verse 24, they came to Jesus and woke him up, saying, "Master, Master, we are perishing." And he got up and rebuked the wind and the surging waves, and they stopped, and it became calm. And he said to them, "Where is your faith?" They were fearful and amazed, saying to one another, "Who then is this, that he commands even the winds and the water, and they obey him?" Can you imagine that? The authority and power that someone must have to just speak a word and control the weather like that. It's amazing the technology we have today to predict the weather, but there's no technology that can do what Jesus did here in controlling and stopping the storm. But I wonder sometimes if we take Jesus' miracles for granted. That is, that we are amazed by the display of power or compassion from Jesus, but we fail to consider the question that should be raised in our minds when we read about and think about Jesus' miracles. It's the same question that the disciples asked here: who then is this? If he can do this, who must he be? Is this miracle a display of his compassion? Absolutely. He had compassion for his disciples. Is it a display of his power? Certainly. The disciples are amazed by that. He commands the winds and the waves and they obey him. But then they move beyond that and they ask a question about Jesus himself. Who is Jesus? And indeed, that's the question we need to ask as well. In Acts chapter 2, the Apostle Peter stands up and preaches on the day of Pentecost. And as he looks back on the ministry of Jesus and he talks about Jesus' miracles, listen to what he says at the beginning of his sermon. "Men of Israel, listen to these words. Jesus the Nazarene, a man attested to you by God with miracles and wonders and signs, which God performed through him in your midst, just as you yourselves know." And so Peter speaks of the miracles that some of these Jews saw firsthand, and he says, God was speaking to you through these miracles. God was telling you something. God was spotlighting Jesus as the Christ and as the Lord. At the conclusion of his sermon, he says, "Therefore, let all the house of Israel know for certain that God has made him both Lord and Christ, this Jesus whom you crucified." Yes, Jesus' miracles show his compassion for hurting people. Yes, his miracles show power over evil and sickness and death. But all of that is a subpoint under this point. Jesus is Lord and Christ. And what that tells us is that Jesus is the Messiah. He has a message for us to hear. Are you listening to him? Are you opening your ears and opening your heart, opening your Bible to listen to what Jesus says to you? If we can help you with that, reach out to us on Facebook. You can send us a message on our website, westfieldchurchofchrist.com, or you can give us a call at 317-558-9266. Thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless.